Hey, what's up guys? This is Tropical Tracker here, and I'm going to do an overview of, so far, the 2010 hurricane season. So far, it's not even October yet. We have 13 storms, which is well above average. The average altogether for named storms in the season is 10, so we're already 3 storms above average. We still have the whole month of October to go, so I expect we're going to get at least another 5 to 6 storms. So yeah, the predictions were right. It's next season, but let me just say this: the season won't be remembered at all unless 2 things happen, which I'll discuss in a minute. Let's take an overview of each storm. This won't take long at all. We have Hurricane Alex, a strong June hurricane. If you look at the pressure, this is wrong. It's not 946, it's 947. It's not 110, it's 105. This thing, a very powerful hurricane. They might actually change this to maybe a major hurricane because this pressure is very low for a Cat 2. Very low. One of the lowest. It's the lowest for a Cat 2. Very low. So, if this thing, didn't move westward, it would have hit South Texas as a major hurricane. Let me explain why. It formed in the Western Caribbean and hit the Yucatan, a strong tropical storm weekend. That's fine. Moved over northward, strengthened to a storm, then northwestward into a hurricane here. And then the ridge at the last moment rebuilt right here. So instead of Alex, who would have been a major hurricane at this time, hitting South Texas, anywhere from South Padre Island to Corpus Christi, it turned due westward and then hit Mexico. So we dodged a bullet there. So the storm was a tragedy for Mexico. It did over $1 billion damage. So that was Alex. So we dodged a big bullet here for Texas. So Texas really lucky. Tropical Depression 2. Poorly organized system. If it was better organized, it could have been Bonnie, but sadly it wasn't. So it hit South Padre Islands as a normal depression. You know, the usual rains, not much of wind. Alright. Bonnie is the only tropical storm that hit the U.S. And I was there. I was in Florida. I live in New Jersey, but I was there in Florida, South Florida, when it hit. Hit as a weak tropical storm. And the reason why I didn't straighten over the Gulf was the system was so poorly organized that it just couldn't get back together and just started dying. So Bonnie, it hit South Florida. Okay, we had gusty rain and wind. Colin formed very south, actually, like can be 11 something north latitude, yeah, and yeah, north. And here's the thing: it went westward, then west northwestward, and then northwestward, and just curved that to sea west of Bermuda. So if the trough wasn't there, this thing it was still poorly organized. Maybe could have hit the east coast to Cat 1. So dodged a bullet there. This thing I don't want to start. This was Tropical Depression 5. So many loops, but stayed over water, it would have become what would have been Danielle, but sadly it didn't. So loopy, loopy, loopy. Weird system. First major hurricane, Danielle, started west-southwest to Cape Verdes and moved westward, then west-northwest, then northwest, then west again, then northwest, and then out to sea east of Bermuda. If the trough wasn't there, this thing would have went either over Bermuda completely or hit the east coast as a major hurricane, because these troughs have been just keep on saving our butts lately, so we have to thank them. Earl, very dangerous story. It destroyed. It did like $100 million in the islands as a Cat 3 or 4. Then it moved northwestward and barely scraping the east coast, North Carolina, Cape Cod, everything, and then hit Canada as a minimum hurricane or a really strong tropical storm. If that reinforcement trough wasn't there, it would have made landfall in North Carolina as a Cat 3. So that was one of the biggest bullets we dodged. So Earl is not going to be remembered at all because it didn't hit the U.S., just scraped it. So we'll go over that. Fiona, same exact thing. Earl's outflow was wrecking it. I don't know how it got to 65, which is a strong tropical storm, but it did. So if this thing didn't catch the trough as well, the European model before, it didn't think a trough would make it, so it moved it west-northwestward, and it predicted it to hit Florida as a Category 5 hurricane. So thank God that didn't happen, so that was a good thing. Gaston. Too much dry air. If it hadn't had dry air, major hurricane in the Caribbean, and then possibly the U.S. Because this thing had so much dry air, it just ripped apart circulation, so it just died out. And the Caribbean and tried to develop, but then it was so weak that it just died. Hermine came from the Pacific into the Bay of Campeche, rapidly intensifying. If the high pressure didn't strengthen, this would have hit South Texas as a minimum hurricane. but it didn't. So again, high pressure saved their asses there. Now Igor, this is an interesting story. It did hit west of Bermuda and did do significant damage in Bermuda and more damage in Newfoundland, actually Canada. But here's the thing: if that reinforcement drop, the first one wasn't there, Igor could have taken a track just like Earl, scraping the coast or possibly making landfall. So we dodged Igor pretty well. Julia, huge weakness in the high, just rapidly strengthening to a Cat 4 and then just took it out. So Julia got stuck. Carl, very dangerous hurricane from Mexico, over $4 billion in damage. Cat 3, 120, made landfall as a major. If there wasn't a high pressure here, it would have hit the Yucatan and then moved northwest and hit South Texas as a major. So again, we dodged a bullet because the highs and the traps are saving our asses. Lisa just died out today. Again, weakness in the high. High's not strong. North, then east, then north. It became a hurricane rapidly, and then it just died out completely today. And now we get to Matthew. I'll have a part 2 of this video. So, yeah, stay tuned for part 2. I'll talk about Matthew and a new system.